welcome to Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer, the host for the show today. Appreciate you being here. We've got a great show lined up for you. Leah Hogan. Leah is the event and program coordinator for the National Kidney Foundation of Louisiana. Joyce Miller is the historian for the Louisiana State Museum. She's going to be our second guest, and she's got some great information coming up about Friends of the Cabildo. Coach Melvin Howard, a dear friend of mine and a friend to the city of New Orleans. Melvin is the founder and president of Victories in Service, and Melvin just does a beautiful job with kids kindergarten through the third grade, and he's going to talk about a program that he's got coming up that kids can be a part of. And we're going to end the show with a beautiful young lady, Cavell Bird. Cavell is the Regional Student of the Year. She's from St. Charles Parish and goes to St. Charles Parish Public Schools. Just such a delightful young lady, and I think you'll really enjoy meeting her. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. So happy to have you with us today. Our first guest is Leah Hogan. Leah is the event and program coordinator for the National Kidney Foundation of Louisiana. Leah, welcome to the show.
Hi.
And I understand that you've been on staff now the long duration of 7 months.
Correct.
And when you got there, they said, hey, we got a gala for you to plan and to prepare,
Correct.
right? Hey, talk a little bit about the National Kidney Foundation. I mean, you guys do such a great job with the information that you get out about kidney disease. So if you can just tell us a little bit about the foundation and some of the programs you are involved in.
Right. Well, at the National Kidney Foundation, our main mission is to provide support to to people in the state of Louisiana who suffer from chronic kidney disease, and we do that by promoting awareness as well as providing education about prevention, how they can prevent themselves from getting kidney disease, as well as support for treatment methods if they do happen to get chronic kidney disease.
At kidney disease, we've had people on from time to time, the American Heart Association. We know that heart disease is #1 killer. Where does kidney disease rank in those numbers?
It's the 8th leading killer, and it is higher than breast and prostate cancer.
Yeah. Do you think the numbers getting a little better with the information that's coming out?
It is getting better with the information that is coming out. However, people just aren't aware of kidney disease. 1 in 9 Americans do have kidney disease, and most do not know it.
That's my next question. I was going to ask how many don't even know it.
Yes, it is a silent killer, and it can be caused by a number of things like high blood pressure, diabetes, and a family history of chronic kidney disease. So what we do is we promote the awareness of it so that people can go out and get tested by their primary care physician. And that.
Well, your website is www.kidneyla.org. Information about the upcoming Celebrity Chef Gala, and we'll talk about that in a second, but information about kidney disease, signs, symptoms, things to look for can be found on the website?
Sure, certainly.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about the Celebrity Chef Gala. When you walked in the door 7 months ago that they told you got to start planning for. So give us a little information. I believe it takes place on June the 1st.
June the 1st, correct. Well, the La Gala de la Bonne Vie is a Celebrity Chef Gala that's going to be held on June the 1st at the New Orleans Canal Street Marriott. And it is basically a fundraiser to promote the awareness for chronic kidney disease. And it's a fundraiser. We're expecting, or we want to raise about $40,000 this year. This year, we're going to be honoring Dr. Myra Klein-Peter. She's been a tremendous support for the organization, as well as the past or previous board president. We're going to have live music, renowned New Orleans chefs, so lots of great food, great music. We're also going to have a silent and live auction, so lots of great items for people to bid upon.
Information on the gala can be found on the website.
Correct.
Silent auction items can be found on the website as well?
The silent auction items can be found as well. You can also get information at www.kidneyla.org.
Okay, talk about the Zephyrs giveaway. That was pretty interesting.
We're also partnering up with Bryan Chevrolet. They're going to be offering the full use of their luxury Zephyr suite for 2 games this season to 2 lucky winners. And one of those games is going to be, the first one is going to be held on June 17th, and that game is against the Fresno Grizzlies, and that game is only going to be up for bid at our gala this year.
That's great.
So you're only going to be able to access that one that way. The other one can be completely accessed through our website, and that one is up for our drawing on the website. It's $10 each time to enter, and that way you can enter. And that game is against the Sacramento River Cats, and that's on June the 23rd.
Leah, thank you so much for taking time to be on the show. Best of luck with the Celebrity Chef Gala, and congratulations on being there for 7 months. Hope things continue to go well for you.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. Again, thank you so much for spending time with us. Exciting guest, Joyce Miller is the historian for the Louisiana State Museum. And God, I'd give anything if my title could be historian. It sounds so exciting and fascinating. Tell us a little bit about what you do as the historian for the museum, and honestly, just a little bit about the museum itself, some of the programs you offer, and then we'll get into the events you've got coming up.
Sure. Well, I'm a historian at the Louisiana State Museum, as you said, which entails doing research for a lot of the exhibits and also knowing about the different buildings that the Louisiana State Museum operates, and also giving tours on occasion and all kinds of
So you're the
other
one that puts the exhibits together and so forth?
We'll have a whole lot of help. We have curators who know about the different objects that are going to be in the exhibit, but I actually usually write scripts or edit scripts and sort of put them into a narrative form or make them tell a story.
Wow, that's got to be just such a neat job.
Yeah, it really is. I love it.
So talk about some of the core programs you have at the museum, because I mean, it's such a phenomenal place.
Well, the Louisiana State Museum, I think there's a lot of confusion about it. One of the important things to keep in mind is that it is a state, it's part of the state government. So we are directed by Jay Darden, the Lieutenant Governor, and our mission is to preserve, collect, and exhibit artifacts that are related to Louisiana history. And so we do that by putting together exhibits, putting together public programs, and also putting together classes at different times and publications as well.
Well, I mean, would you have, this is going to sound like a crazy question and I apologize, but would you have a state museum in Baton Rouge and elsewhere, or is this the state museum here in New Orleans?
That's part of the source of confusion, I think, that there are actually 12 different Louisiana State Museum properties, and they are all over the state. 7 of them are located in the French Quarter, or in New Orleans, I should say. Most of them in the French Quarter, and those include the ones that people most often know are Louisiana State Museum properties are the Cabildo, the Presbytere, the old U.S. Mint, the 1850s house, and then Madame John's Legacy.
Okay, and I've been.
And there's several others as well.
I think I've been through 5 of those, and they're fascinating. So you've got Joyce. You've got an event coming up that is part of your Cabildo Adult History class called Neighborhoods of New Orleans. Talk about that and how people can get involved in that. Okay,
it's a course, a 5-week series of classes that focuses on the different neighborhoods of New Orleans. It's going to be sponsored by the Friends of the Cabildo, which is a nonprofit private group that provides support to the Louisiana State Museum. So they help us fulfill our mission by supporting us financially, but also by providing us volunteers. So they're the actual sponsors of the course. And the course is going to take place over 5 weeks beginning May 26th and continuing through, I may be wrong about that, it may be May 28th through June. And over those 5 weeks, we'll talk about many different neighborhoods in New Orleans, tracing their history over time and looking at things like their architecture, the geography of the neighborhoods, the important landmarks, and the important people that came from the different neighborhoods.
Well, I got to tell you, I've been in New Orleans for 24 years now, and when I first moved here, that was the one part about New Orleans that I found so fascinating was how the different names, the different neighborhood, they all had their different culture. I mean, what a great idea to do something like that. Joyce, your website is www.friendsofthecabildo.org. We'll put that on the screen. All the information about the class, how to register, is it free?
We ask for a $200 contribution. That is a contribution to the Friends of the Cabildo, so it will help us provide future museum programming. And in exchange for that, you'll get the 5 different classes. We're going to, the classes are going to be held in the old U.S. Mint in the evenings. So we're going to open the doors at 5:30, and people get a chance to kind of meet and greet with the other students and with the instructors.
Let me ask before we have to wrap it up, is there a limited number? I mean, is this like first come, first serve?
It is first come, first serve, and it's limited to right now about 30, give or take. take a few.
Okay, we've got to wrap it up, so I appreciate you taking time to come in and be a part of the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana again. As always, we thank you so much for being a part of the show today. We've got one of the most sincere gentlemen that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, Coach Melvin Howard. Melvin is the founder and president of Victories in Service, and I had the pleasure of meeting Melvin many, many years ago. And if you ever meet somebody that gives of themselves, that if you ever have the opportunity to meet someone like Melvin, your life will be touched. And Coach, it's been a long time. I hadn't seen you in about 8 years. You look great. It's great. It's great to have you back.
Great to be back.
Victories in Service. Talk a little bit about the organization and what that means to you and how you founded that and why you founded that.
Well, Victories in Service, it's Victory Youth Training Academy. We work with kindergarten through third graders. We're now in 2 of the charter schools here in the New Orleans area. We found that right after Katrina, we started with Volunteers of America, as you know. That's where I met you. And after the hurricane, Volunteers of America went into the schools, and we wanted to go back in that Upper Ninth Ward area where we were before Katrina. We got a house from Habitat for Humanity that was right across the street from this Odell Davis playground. And we used athletics, namely the fundamentals of baseball, to encourage children to give of their best. We call it raising winners. Raising winners, winning at life. So through the fundamentals of baseball, we do the after-school programming, summer programming, academics, mainly life skills, hard workers, Steve. Just come and give your best in the educational institution. We were finding that too many children took the playground approach in their schooling, and we wanted to set out to change that. So the after-school and summer program gives them a real chance to really get these role models that they so desperately need, that hard work approach.
Well, and role models like yourself. And Coach, your website is www.victoriesinservice.org, and on the website is information about the organization, how kids can become involved in that. So, I mean, if there's any information that anybody watching the show needs to find out, then go on that website. I did want to take a few minutes and talk about your baseball challenge that you've got coming up on May the 17th. Tell us a little bit about that and how you can get involved.
Well, you know, we're really excited about that in that a couple of years ago, I had a parent that called me, and she said, well, you talked to my son. I said, talk to him concerning what? Well, they had just got their little baseball uniforms. And he thought they were his pajamas, so he wanted to go to bed in it, right? So, you know, that's the excitement of a young kid who hasn't experienced athletics before. And being that we left the house, and now we're in a charter school, and we work with kindergarten through third graders. So these are the sponge-like kids who absorb the things you give them. And we said right now we have 100 children, 120 children on roll, 100 actively that come participate. So we're buying uniforms for all of the kids, and we're going to have a gala event through baseball.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
and again,
Coach,
I mean, the website, www.victoriesinservice.org. We're about to run out of time, but I would love to have you come back whenever you like, talk about the programs you have for the kids. There's so many stories that I could share of stories that you've shared with me. And again, this community is so lucky to have someone like you to come back in and give of their heart, because I know the story of what got you here. And I wish we could talk about that today, but I'm going to promise to make you come back and tell that story again at another time.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Best of success with your baseball challenge. And again, thank you, Coach, for all that you do. Stay with us. We've got one more guest, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana again. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. We greatly appreciate it. Just a great show we've had today, and we've literally saved the best for last. We are very fortunate to have the Regional Student of the Year from St. Charles Parish Public Schools. Cavell Bird is on the show, and we are so happy to have you here. Regional Student of the Year. How many people you think can say that?
Not a lot of people. It's a great honor to be awarded the title.
Now, I've got to ask, my first question is, and you carry yourself so well. You're 11 years old. Again, Regional Student of the Year. How did that happen? How do you get to be Regional Student of the Year? I've never even been Student of the Day, much less Regional Student of the Year.
Well, it all started at my school, Long Elementary, and it all worked from academics, grade point average, which is an A and B's from 3rd grade to 5th grade, and it was also my character traits. And then after that, I moved forward to district, and it was really exciting. Then I moved forward to Regional Student of the Year, and now it's even more exciting.
So now, is this just something that you did in Louisiana, or was it nationwide, or?
It was just in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. But you were competing with other kids in your grade category, right?
Yes, sir.
And what were you like, different sort of curriculum things? What were some of the things that you were doing that, when you were competing, what were some of the things you were doing?
Some of the things I was doing was I had to show my creativity and my common sense and what I know about the world during a writing prompt that we had to do. And another thing that we had to do was an interview, so you could get to know who you are, to see is she the right person? Are you the best leader?
So did you get down when you were going through all your competition? I mean, you just kept going and going and going, and was it finally down to you and somebody else as to who would be Regional Student of the Year, or was there other people in the competition against you at this point?
There were other people in the competition against me, like there were other parishes, and they had the students from St. Charles Parish, which were the middle school and the high school, and when I went to the state competition, it was just all on me now, because I was the only person from St. Charles Parish.
Well, I'm from St. Charles Parish too, so you know, you make all of us St. Charles Parish residents so proud. What's next for you? What do you do next? You're in the 5th grade now, or?
Yes, sir.
And then you go to the 6th grade, obviously, and you know, will you compete again in another category for Student of the Year, or?
Well, in Student of the Year, they have 3 categories: elementary, which is 5th grade. They have middle school, which is 8th grade, and they have high school, which is 12th grade. Or your senior year. So I'll be trying to work hard and do even more community service hours and work harder in my music so I could try to compete against for State Student of the Year when I become in 8th grade.
Well, Cavell, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Congratulations. I mean, Regional Student of the Year, that is quite an honor, and that's such something. I don't know what that small percentage is of people that can say something like that, but it's just an absolute pleasure to meet you. Best of luck to you as you grow forward. Continue to come back on the show and talk about your successes that you have going forward, because you are a bright young lady. And again, very happy to have you on the show. You make a very nice closing guest, and we're glad that you came and chose to be with us today. So thank you very much for doing that. And again, congratulations, Regional Student of the Year, Cavell Bird. And wow, what an honor to have bestowed upon you. You've been watching Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer. Thank you for being a part of the show. And as always, we'll see you next time.